Yo, we are live on the Twitch, YouTube. All right, everybody, this is the world-renowned Joe Madness Show. It is a spooky night here in Texas, but beautiful. Hopefully everybody's doing great out there. So we got a big show lined up for everybody out there tonight. What? It's been a rough week, you guys. I don't know what happened. Apparently I had a late night snack. The only thing I could remember was about a handful of days ago. I was eating some of these meat sticks from Takis. I think they were old as fuck or something. Honestly, I don't even know. Like, they might have been old. They might have been, they're very, very old, my friend. Like too old, right? Too old. And then I followed it up with eating some Stacks. They're kind of like the alternative to Pringles, which are amazing, though. Stacks are like, I love them. Anyways, though, that fateful night, I don't know, it was stuff in my face, and then next thing you know, I woke up in the morning, and my belly was hurting. A lot of shit was hurting. I was throwing up through my asshole, so that happened. Just kept going on and over and over and over and over. Beautiful imagery. It was pretty wild. I did not feel good for, I want to say 2 or 3 days. I started feeling better. But I did pump out a couple of videos, though. You guys are interested, though, live. Actually, live. Drop tonight. I pumped out Hamster Celebrities. What? That's a video. The other day, we debuted LGBTQ plus Sneeko. So check out those videos if you haven't already. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I feel like they were pretty good. I feel like the reception on the YouTube wasn't too bad. Like we talked about this a couple of times. I love to talk about this. I've had this conversation with a couple of people, not similar convo, but type of way where they're like, "Are you old?" Every time we talk, you always talk about the same shit. I'm like, yeah. I probably do, just because, I'm always doing this, I'm always working on some type of project and videos or editing or this or that. So I think what it is, you guys, is that I guess whomever I'm speaking with aren't really that important to where I remember conversations. So I'm like, all right, well, let's talk about the last thing that I found interesting. And this is what it is. This is what I found interesting. So I talk about it again, But you know what? The more you talk about something, though, the better you get at telling the story or whatever it is that you're trying to, tell everybody. I'm looking at my stream here on the YouTube, and it looks like it's really bad. I don't know why. I really don't know how you would fix it. What is this, open widget? That says it's poor. Luckily, nobody watches. I've been asked before, in the past anyways, why do you stream if nobody watches you? I used to not have an answer to that. Now I do, though. Fortunately, now I do. I do have an answer. Since we stream on the Twitch and the YouTube, what I use those platforms for as far as streaming goes, anybody that might come across my stuff and might enjoy it kind of sees what I'm about. And if they like it, they'll follow you. They'll subscribe. But the main reason why I stream, it makes it easier, kind of like two birds with one stone type of thing. It really makes it easier to kind of, I don't know, have all your eggs in one basket, so to speak, right? I mean, you're doing a couple of things when you stream. You're exposing yourself to people. That sounds dirty as fuck. Yeah, you're basically there you go. Yeah, you're exposing the world to yourself in some type of way. So people get kind of like a little nibble about what you're about. If they want some more, they can, do whatever it is that they do to see you again, right? But then you also have the video, though, right? So I record the video and then I also do the stream thing. So with the video, what I like to do is chop it up. And then you get more content that way. I kind of feel like that's where the money's at. This whole streaming thing, cool, man. But where you get people excited, though, you get people interested, I think, is in the videos. Because once you make them bangers, and I feel like you can make bangers, like, easily through editing. The magic of editing. So I kind of feel like that's where you're getting your bangers from. Like, if you're pretty decent at editing, I mean, you can make something like, you can make shit. You can make gold out of shit, really. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You can make shit. Yeah, you can. So I feel like the streaming's going really bad tonight. I'm not really sure why. But we're going to keep it moving, though. Because it doesn't matter, though. We still got the local recording going. So it doesn't even matter if the stream is shit. Anyways, though, this is something I wanted to talk about tonight. I've been joining these Facebook groups, you guys. I don't know if I've talked about that before, but a couple of the groups that I joined, they were podcasting groups, and one of them was really strange. This isn't unusual. Like I've heard of this in the past where people like give you some shit over your product. So it wasn't like it caught me off guard, but it's I feel like it's atrocious. It's a little bothersome, I'm not gonna lie. It's not to the extent where like I'm gonna lose sleep over it, but here's what I mean though. So there was this group I joined. I didn't really read it. I didn't really read the rules or anything. They have rules. I mean, I can understand. Okay. No nudity. That's probably a big one. Maybe not spam the shit out of everybody in the group. That's probably a good one. Something like that. But here's the kicker, though. Like, unless your podcast is strictly audio, then they don't want you showing anything. Like, you have to, right? You have to basically just upload audio, because if you have video, they're like, oh, you're a YouTuber, or you're like this Twitch guy, or you're this or that. I mean, they automatically want to label you, which I find ridiculous. Because if you look at my product, I mean, you really can't point me or place me in any type of box. I don't think there's any box that has a label with my face or name on it that's applicable. I mean, the stuff that I do, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm changing the game. I mean, I might be later, but I'm doing a lot of different things, with my streams and my content, my video, my audio and whatnot. So the problem that I came across with these people is that, I can't upload any video because all of a sudden I'm not a podcaster, and I've heard this before. With everything that I've done since day one, I've heard this lots of times. People have given me so much shit over this. They're like, okay, so you do video, you stream on the Facebook, you stream on this place, and you do this and that, whatever. You're like, yeah, that's part of it, And they're like, okay, so, in the past, my content was strictly, I would say it was more like streaming with podcast upload of audio only, right? So there would be a stream out there, usually would not be anywhere besides Facebook, because at that time I didn't have a computer, so I wasn't able to get on the YouTube, right? Because I think for YouTube, if you want to stream mobilely, you have to, I think you have to have like 1,000 followers or subscribers or whatever. So I mean, it's a ridiculous amount. It really is. Like, it's not unattainable, but it's a high figure, right? That's basically what I'm trying to say. So that was out. The only place I was doing it on was on Facebook. I didn't really know about Twitch. I didn't really fuck with it. I thought it was more just for games, but apparently you could talk on there and people want to watch, or they can watch. But yeah, anyways, what my point is, though, I've been having these issues with these people ever since day one because they want to paint me in a box, and it happened again. They're like removing my videos and my content from their group because they're like, you're not a podcaster. Here's your warning, though. Here's your warning. Don't do it again. And what they're saying, though, they post something automatically after that, saying some garbage like you got to have an RSS feed and you got to have this and that. I mean, my fucking audio is fucking amazing, you guys. My shit sounds good. You want to see my audio podcast? I mean, you just look up Joe Madness, right? You'll see Rainbow Hamster Media, the logo. You can click on it. Here's the kicker, though. If you're listening on audio only, right? If you are listening on audio only, you're missing out on the visuals. You're just able to hear the audio portion of the show, right? Which is pretty wild, because I was looking at it earlier. 'Cause every time I turn on my Mac, it always brings up Apple Podcasts, and mine happened to be on top, right? Because I follow myself. So I was like, okay, so does it play the video? Because Spotify does and Anchor does, but does Apple, though? And the answer to that is no, they don't. They do not play the video. So if you listen to any type of Apple podcast out there, and the podcast that you're listening to has video, you're not able to see it, which is wild. The reason why, though, is, I stream, right? I do the Twitch and the YouTube thing and sometimes Facebook, right? And what I like to do is I like to use a lot of visuals. So I'll throw some shit up on the screen. We'll have a conversation. We'll react to some videos. Anytime I'm talking about, something that's engaging where we can, have something on the screen to help tell the story, to help push the show along to where people might enjoy it a little bit more. Yeah, I do that. So whenever you listen to it just audio only, you're missing all of that. And I used to do a pretty good job of this. Like back in my heyday when I first started, I used to definitely paint the picture of here's what we're doing, right? If I'm watching something, if I'm listening to something, if we're doing something, you know, I was really good at giving some context and play-by-play type of thing. But since Spotify and Anchor have kind of been trailblazers as of late in the way that, you know, they offer the video portion of it. You know, I sometimes forget that, you know, other platforms do not. So, you know, whenever you listen to just audio only, you miss a lot of that. Because we're like reacting to shit on the screen. You can't see it, though, but you can hear it, right? You can hear me getting excited. You can hear me talking about it, you know, getting emotional, getting, like, hyped, you know, feeling some type of way about what we're looking at. You know, it's a beautiful thing, right? So that's what I happened to notice tonight or today. I don't know. I don't even know what time it was. But yeah, I was just like, okay. So Apple does not. Okay. All right. Got it. But yeah, I basically all right, so before I move on there, because I want to jump around, I do this thing where I like jumping around topic, but let's see, final thoughts on what we were talking about as far as the group and not thinking in my podcast and my show or my content is a podcast. You know, people are going to say a lot of things. People are always going to have their own opinion. They may not understand. They may not agree with the shit that you do. But that's a beautiful thing about life, you guys. People don't have to agree or they have to like or enjoy anything that you do. They really don't. You know, you're always going to have people out there that they really do love your content. They love what you do. They love what you provide. They really have a lot of love for you. And I've felt that over the years. But then I've also felt the hate and the nonsense that you receive from certain groups, certain folks out there that, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know what you would chalk it up to. But the only thing I have to say about that is I definitely find it absolutely atrocious when people act that way. It's just like you're gonna single me out just because you don't understand my content. You don't understand what I do, what I provide as a content creator. That's ridiculous. So, I mean, I do have a podcast. You can look it up. Joe Madness is a podcast. You can listen to all my episodes since 2017. So whenever people sit here and tell me I don't have this or I don't have that, it's like, it's just, I don't know. I can't help but laugh at that. Because, you know, what are we going to do? We going to get mad? Going to get upset? I don't let other people's nonsense and ridiculousness, ignorance, bother me, affect me. You know, I mean, could you imagine a world like that where people's opinions actually matter to you? Like, if they did, I probably wouldn't do this. I probably wouldn't do a lot of things. And the person that I am today, the person that you see before you, would not exist because I would let the world and society affect who I am as an individual, as myself. And I mean, that's not a world that I ever want to see become reality. But yeah, that's That's something that happened recently. I didn't know. I didn't know how to talk about it. I knew it bothered me, and I knew I wanted to get it off my chest. But I don't know. It was just something that I didn't like at all.